Welcome to All Things Flamingo podcast with the Flamingo Group and myself, Beth Reilly. Join us as we discuss all things to do with our community, real estate, and all things Flamingo. Welcome and tune in for a flocking good time. Well, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Ellen. This is Ellen Thompson. She's with Junk King, and she's the manager of Junk King. And we also know each other from our networking group. So
We do.
This has been really fun to get to know you, but also to get to know your company. Some of the things that's interesting when you get to know somebody from a business level is you start going on their Facebook page, start learning all sorts of stuff about them. And when did you start working at Junk King?
I've been with Junk King now for about 4 years, 4.5 years.
And how did you get involved with it?
Well, I had retired from a coaching career that lasted 30 years, and I was just looking for something different to do. My daughter actually was working for Junk King just on a part-time basis while she was in college. So she is really good friends with the owner's daughter. They're actually in each other's weddings. So I knew Morgan and I met Ed through that. Ed and I are actually distantly related. So we had seen each other, known each other, but I met with him and he kind of gave me an idea of what he wanted to do, how he wanted to expand the role that I'm in and how we could grow and all of that. And I really liked the organization. I liked Ed, the people here that are working. And I thought it was a really great challenge, something that flowed from what I had been doing with my past.
Oh, cool. And then you said 30 years of coaching?
Yeah, 30 plus years of coaching. I've coached ever since I graduated from college. I was a college coach. I've been a high school coach. I'm currently an assistant high school coach at Minnetonka High School for the girls team. We just won the state tournament last year. Yay.
I know. That's what I went on your webpage. Wait, what? There's Facebook. I was looking at that. No. So it's always been basketball, correct?
It's always been basketball. Absolutely. I got to play basketball in college at St. Thomas. Nice. Got a love for it that way. And, with what I did as a coach with recruiting and dealing with people and talking in front of groups, I felt like it was a really good transition to come over here to Junk King. And it's been great. It's been wonderful.
And so I can see the fit now, because I think most athletes are very good at sales. At least I've always found that is the better they are at a sport, they kind of understand you have to overcome some boredom.
Exactly.
You have to kind of hack it out and get things done. And so
it is, my son just finished, he played 4 years of college football, and it just teaches you things. It teaches you, time, the commitment. It teaches you, like you said, to overcome hurdles, but it also just gives you a confidence in yourself so that when you're in a group, you're able to speak. You learn some things as a team player that can really help you in the sales and marketing world. Absolutely.
I agree. So can you tell me a little bit about Ed and how he started down this path as an owner?
Ed worked for many years at Greystone Construction, and he really was looking to find a business that would coincide with the things that his concern about the environment. He looked at a couple different franchise ideas, and this one really became his sole focus because of their commitment to the environment, the green message that we have, and we want things to last for not just our generation, but generations to come. So he did his research. He found Junk King. He started it in 2012. He's also a St. Thomas grad. And he had that finance background that really helped him get off the ground. Started with just a couple trucks in Minneapolis, and now we've expanded and we service the entire Twin Cities area. We have locations in Roseville and Brooklyn Park, as well as Eden Prairie. So we cover the whole Twin Cities area. It's really done a great job.
Nice. When you say that it's green or that it has a good recycling program, what is that? This has been a big deal to me, and so we can get into this a bit, but I'd like to learn a little bit more. What does that all mean?
So when we do a junk removal job, we send our guys out to the job. They bring the items. Every item comes back to one of our warehouses. We have 3 different warehouses, and we sort through it. So anything that we can recycle, repurpose, or donate in some way, we do. So over 60%, 60 to 70% of what we haul, we're able to recycle, repurpose, or donate, find a new home for. And what I tell people is if items have life left in it, we're going to find a new home for it. So we partner with Bridging, for instance. We have some different donation partners, but we also are able to sell some things just as a way to keep things from being sent to a landfill. The items that are truly junk, that have no life left in it, we take to HERC. In downtown Minneapolis, and that's the Hennepin Energy Recycling Center, and they burn items for energy. So really, we make that commitment. There are a lot of junk companies out there that will take it straight to a junkyard or to a landfill or whatever, and we don't.
The cheapest way, actually.
It is the cheap and the quickest. You can get back and do another job if you do it that way. But our commitment and Ed's commitment, and it's really worked out well, and our guys are completely on board with that, and they really do a nice job of when they pack a truck. They don't just chuck things in there. They make sure that they take care of items that we can find a new home for.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, this was a big deal to me because I refer you so much to different clients as we're cleaning houses out. And let's face it, there's all different kinds of clean out. There's ones that I would have to say everything has to go in the junk, everything. And a lot of times it's because we're dealing with mental health issues, or maybe somebody just has aged out of a home and they've continued to, unfortunately, just let it go into disrepair. And then also just kind of mixing garbage with everything else.
Yes. And we see that often. We definitely do. And, to be honest with you, hoarding situations, people, when we're out, we do a lot of community events. They always want to know, do you come across hoarding situations because of the shows that are out there? And we absolutely do. And like you said, it becomes like an emotional attachment to the items that people have in the house. And Ed always talks about one job that he did. And it was an older woman, and she was going to be moving into an assisted living. And she was really, these items meant something to her. And to watch our guys carry the items out into the truck, it was really emotional for her. And Ed and her were able to talk it through. He had compassion for what was going on, and in the end, it ended up being great. But there was a couple tears shed by Ed and by our customer, just because it is emotional. So we see that all the time, and we definitely when we work with people, we assure them that we understand what you're going through, and we're gonna do our best to help you out.
Yeah, I think what's interesting too is so many times they think they think that hoarding happens because people just want more and more stuff. And what I have found, and I'm not a psychologist or anything. Right. What I have found is many times there's been a crisis. There's been a death in the family. They've cleaned out their parents' house. Some things happened that those things they're not things.
That's right.
There's something exactly going on in their heart that makes them say, that's Uncle Bob, or that's my lost child, or that's something like that. And that's,
it does. It gets emotional. We had an older man that came through one of our shows that we were doing, and he, talked to us for a long time at the show and just was telling us about his wife, and she had just recently died, and they had been married for 45, 50 years. And the house, he said, he was, not 100% specific, but he just said she liked to collect things. Can you help me out with that? Can you help me out with that? Absolutely, we can help you out with that. So we went to the house, and it was books. Her passion was books. Wow. So when we walked in the house, there was literally a path, and the books were stacked up. You had to kind of stand on your tippy toes to see over. And it was several trucks worth of books, and it was hard. It was overwhelming to him. He could not do it on his own. It was his wife. He understood where, what that meant to her. So we really helped him out, and he's become a return customer for us because he knows that we care about what he had to go through.
Yeah. And I think, and even when you get into specific items, like I've done that with houses that have had books, unfortunately they're mouse attractors.
Yeah, they are.
And you can't always you can't recover the books. It's very, I know that's hard for
It's
people
hard.
to hear
It
or
is
to
hard.
deal with.
It definitely
There,
happens.
there's mouse attractors. I don't know how to explain it, but there are certain things that I've had pianos that are shot, stuff like that.
No.
Just interesting. I tend to agree with you on that, but that's really nice that they get to know, hey, we're going to do the best we can.
Yep.
That's how we work. It's a mentality. I do think it's a mentality. If your mentality is go to the dump, drop it off, that's a certain kind of mentality. But if you have a mentality of, well, let's sort through this, let's see what we can recover. And of course, you're a business. You have to make it profitable. And I do think that when you're putting that much more time into sorting, things like that, I haven't gone to your store yet, but I do know you guys have a store.
You do.
That keeps you profitable because it takes time to sort. They don't,
It does.
it's a big deal that they understand that this is a sorting process in order to help the recycling and to make it green, but also you didn't have time to do this. It was a big job. Well, it's just as big a job on your end.
It is. Absolutely. And it's a job that I mean, some things you can't donate. Let's be honest. Like there are,
Mattresses.
we try our best to donate, but some of the things we can't, and then we sell them. And the thing I love about what we sell, we do have a little store. The thing that I love about it is we then take some of the proceeds of we take some of those profits and we give our guys the opportunity to pick a charity each month to donate back to. So for
Nice.
instance, we've got one young man who's had some family members that have experienced mental health disorders and whatnot. And so he picks NAMI, the National Association for Mental Illness, to donate back to. We've got one young man who lost a dear friend to an undetected heart disorder. So we donate to his foundation. So it's just really a great way for the guys to become invested in what we're doing as well.
Yeah, they're great.
All right, so here we go. So what things do we take? I love this slide because really the only thing I should probably just say, what do we not take? The only thing we really don't take is hazardous materials. So, when we're out and about in the community and doing home shows and whatnot, well, do you take electronic waste? Yep, we do. We take electronics. Well, do you take yard waste? We do. Construction? We do. We do it all. We just don't do the hazardous, the paints, the oils that you need to take to your local recycling center.
Yeah, and those we can always post those too, of what all the recycling centers are. And I have to say, I do have a lot of people doing 2 and 3 loads out to recycling centers. I mean, they have paint from, if it's a 1970s built house, they have paint from 1970.
Yes.
You need to
absolutely.
take care of that.
You do need to take care of it, and you need to do it. You need to do it in an eco-friendly way. Absolutely, to make sure that our future generations aren't having to deal with that.
Yeah. I agree. And they always do. They're very nice. At least every time I've gone to the Bloomington one, they're great.
All right. Yeah, some more pictures. So these are, I mean, everybody loves before and after pictures, just because it's just such a great feeling for our customers when we do a job and, they've got like this one. This one was, we do apartment complexes. We do large scale, small scale. We do it all. So this was an apartment. We went in, they had left it. The renters had left it like that. So the property managers, the apartment managers, they give us a call. And the nice thing is, if they're in a rush, we can get it done. We've got a large scale operation, so we can get those things done same day. If you call us in the morning, oftentimes we can have it taken care of later that day. So these items here, our guys go in, they are quick and efficient and they get it out and we get the before and the after picture there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, here. And so offices. So when COVID happened and a lot of people started to work remotely, a lot of offices had to rethink how they were doing things. So we've done a lot of office cleanouts where people are going from a larger, building to a smaller setting, and we will take apart the desks and haul it all away. So this is an example of us where we had disassembled the cubicles and then hauled it all away. So we can handle that. There really isn't any size job that we can't handle. I know we did a job like a year ago. It was like 80 trucks worth of plastic that had been stored for a business that went bankrupt. So, it was truck after truck, and we spread it out over a month's time, but we got it done. It was amazing.
Wow. Wonder how you can repurpose that plastic, right?
Yeah, so what our guys will do in the office here, so we have a couple men here who work in the office, and they're making calls. So they're saying, I've got, X, Y, and Z. Will you take it? I mean, we've had pallets of water come in, water that is never been touched. They're just in the plastic bottles. Somebody was late with a shipment. The gas station wouldn't take it. So we had pallet after pallet, and we were calling places, can we donate some pallets of water to you? So we work hard to make sure that we're searching for a home for all these different things.
Oh, actually, it's kind of fun.
It can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a puzzle, right? It's a mystery a little bit that you get to
It is.
come out and send
It
it on.
is. Absolutely. Good way to put it. So this is new for us. So we started our dumpster rentals probably within the past year. They are smaller dumpsters. So they're 12 cubic yards. If you're looking, you're driving around and you're seeing an office building, they're often like 20, 30. They're huge dumpsters.
Okay.
These dumpsters are 12 cubic yards. These are great for home renovations. So the first picture you're looking at is actually my house. And we had done 2 bathroom remodel. So
Okay.
the guys were able to just haul it out, put it in this size dumpster. It was perfect. It was awesome. We do 3-day rentals. We've got great, a guy that comes in, will walk you through how it's going to work, get that set up for you. And 3 days later, we're hauling it away. So if you want to do the labor on your own, which is completely fine with us, this is a great option. So this is another fun slide. So, people always say, how do you differentiate yourself from the other junk companies out there? And let me tell you, there are a lot of junk companies out there. We have the largest trucks on the market. So we have 18 cubic yard trucks.
Okay.
What I always tell people when they're price shopping, and that's fine, price shop, if they say their full truck size is less money, that, costs less, we'll ask them how big it is, because if it's a 15 cubic yard truck and ours are 18 and it's the same price, you're going to get more bang for your buck with us. Plus, we're more efficient this way. We can load more items into the truck, make less trips to, Herc or to a recycle center. So there's a lot of advantages to the size trucks. So you can see some of the competitors out there who we won't name, but they're definitely smaller trucks, 15 and 14 cubic yard trucks versus our 18 cubic yard truck.
Nice.
More before and after pictures. We get these calls all the time. Someone will just call in and say, hey, are you able to handle demos, or are you able to handle, taking apart office cubicles? Absolutely not a problem. Our guys will go in and they've got the tools that they need and the skill to make it happen quickly. And then, you're left with that nice open, clean space.
Yeah. I bet I've always wondered what's going to happen with all these office cubicles. I mean, I don't know how to repurpose it.
Well, there are some companies out there that will buy them from you, and then they have like a resale shop for that. They got overwhelmed during COVID because of how many companies were downsizing. Now we're seeing a trend back to people going back into the office and having to, get the cubicles back. So there's definitely places that you can take them to, but you got to do a little research on that.
Yeah, I think they call it hot seating or something like that.
Yeah.
So if they're starting to have people come back into the office, they assign them a specific desk. And let's say it's for Tuesday afternoon, and you're there from 1 to 4 at that desk. And then you go to your locker, pull out the stuff that you have at the office, you put it on your desk, and that's how you're working. So they're coming back. They're starting to notice that there's more energy, and at least people seeing each other face to face. Home's great, but we need that interaction.
We do, absolutely.
I think that our mental health crisis and stuff that's going on, you're seeing the mental health crisis and junk remover and things going on, because that a lot of times is part of that mental health thing.
Absolutely.
But I'm starting to see it in homes that I go into, and I see it at all different levels. Junk removal seems to always be a part of that. So it's unfortunate, but again, it's part of the job. It's part of how things are happening.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a great picture because, this was a customer that we worked for who, had a couple kids. The kids grew up, went to college, moved out of the house, and they still had their play set. And the play set, trust me, wood play sets wear down over time. So they call us up and they say, can you help us with this? Absolutely. We do demolition of, play sets. We do small shed demos, decks, fences. So we can do that as part of our services. And this one, I mean, it didn't take our guys long. It's a couple screws. They're really good about it. And then look at that big open space that you have that you've been looking at, for years now. It's back. And now you can just have that for your own enjoyment.
And the resale quality of that backyard just went up.
Did it? I mean, you would know, right?
The other thing you just said that you do demos. When you say do demos like on a deck, do you pull the deck off?
I mean, it just depends. We're not going to do large scale. I mean, but if it is, a smaller deck, we'll do some of that. What we'll do, Beth, is we will send one of our guys out to the site and he'll do an assessment of it. So, is this a job we can do? Is this not a job we can do? And we'll give a free estimate on site. And a lot of times our guys will just come with an empty truck and they'll be able to do the job right then and there. Sometimes people, though, they want to, oh, I'm not ready yet. Here's your estimate. It's good for 30 days. Let's set it up for 2 weeks from now, or you're moving out on the 28th. Let's set it up for the 26th or whatever. Okay. So there are a lot of jobs that we will do. Sometimes we do pass, just depending on the scale of the job and the safe. I always tell people they want to know if we'll go into an attic, for instance. And, if the attic is safe for us to walk in, we'll handle that job. So it's the same thing with small demo. If it's something that we can do and it's safe for our young men, we'll absolutely do that and get that taken care of.
Okay. That's a great point.
So another thing that we do is hot tubs. Hot tubs are an interesting, I mean, hot tubs are great, right? Until they don't work anymore. And then they are eyesores. So we get a lot of calls to do hot tubs, and we have something called a hot tub sled. So our guys will assess the situation. It has to be disconnected before we'll do anything with it. Sure. But once it's disconnected, our guys will find a way to slip it onto this sled, and then it's a matter of pull and push to get it to the truck. So it's really an interesting process. We did one job. I was there taking pictures, and they started to try to move the hot tub, and they hit a hornet's nest. Oh my God, they're everywhere, and our guys are like running. We just had to find some, reassess. We did get it done eventually, but it was a little bit like taken aback. But we'll handle that. Our guys are great about that. We actually post on our social media. I did one recently where we did a hot tub, and we just showed a little clip of it. We've gotten over 30,000 views on it just because it's so fun for people to see this process.
I think I saw that too. It was a very
fun. We put it, it's fun. It was fun.
Junking, it's like junking action shot,
Exactly. So this is an example of a hoarder house. And when you look at the picture on the left, our guys had already worked their way down to that spot there. That
the stairs were packed, probably
packed, absolutely 100% packed. So this is a situation where we do charge our regular fees. We don't charge labor. If we're coming to take a hot tub, or if we're coming to take a fridge or whatever, but situations like this where our guys are literally having to bag up stuff to haul it out to a truck, we're going to put a labor fee on that. And we're going to be really upfront with you on it. When we do the estimate, we're going to show you all of that. But this is one of those situations. This particular situation, it was an elderly member had died and their family had to come in and deal with it. So it was, sad in that their loved one had died, but also, heartbreaking to know that this is how they lived their last couple weeks of life or years of life. But you can see on the other side, that right picture, we get it done. Our guys they just keep at it, and eventually we get that house cleaned out. And that's when the realtors come in and assess it and see what else needs to be done.
Usually I'm on the left side of the picture.
And that's when you call us oh my God.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And what I've also found with hoarders is they're very secretive. So members of the family might not know. They might always go and visit them at a coffee shop and say, no, not at my house, or let's have Thanksgiving at a restaurant. They're covering it up. It's not like you're walking into a house that looks like this all the time. So it's, again, I'm kind of protecting everybody involved here, but These kind of mental health issues, they're pretty common, to tell you the truth. And it just needs to be, that you have to get the junk out. Because again, for health reasons, this needs to get out.
Right.
Many times that's a mouse infestation.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just another situation. It was a whole house, but this is when we got to the garage and how it had been stacked in there. So, sometimes people will keep their house clean and throw everything into their garage. Like I said, we go out to different events all the time, and people come up to us and say, "Oh my gosh, my second, garage is full. Can you take care of that?" Absolutely, we can take care of it. Again, we'll send a crew out. They'll assess it, take a look at it. We charge by volume. So however much space in the truck the items take, that's what you're going to get charged. So we'll give that free estimate. Our guys are excellent at coming out and assessing a situation and knowing how much space that'll take in the truck. So you have the upfront estimate before you make a decision.
Yeah, that is good. Garages are perfect for that.
Yeah, and again, sometimes people do their, they, instead of using a garage, they just throw things outside. Sometimes, it's a rental unit and people just leave things on the side of the building. So we work with a lot of property managers who will call us like, "Oh my gosh, I know you have a dumpster picture as well. Can you help us?" People have been, leaving things by the dumpster. This one, it was just left outside in the open patio area. We absolutely can take care of it. This is a job that won't take us long. Our guys will drive that truck right up. They will, contact the property manager. They'll say, "This is a quarter of a truck. It's going to be X price." Boom, done. We haul it away, and the property manager is thrilled, to say the least. Yeah. So here's a dumpster situation. So we see this a lot. And I'm sure that you probably do too, where people just think it's open season on the dumpster. The dumpster is really supposed to be for the garbage, the garbage bags, but people just think, "Oh, I'm just going to leave it by the dumpster." So we get those calls all the time. We keep us on speed dial. We'll be there. You could call us at 8 a.m. We'll get this taken care of by 2 p.m. and you've got an empty space. Again, this is a situation. This one we could do over the phone, like in terms of an estimate, because we can see the whole thing. We can, kind of get the space, and then we can do that over the phone. And property managers that we work with are great. Because we're reliable. We will do what we say we're going to do, and we're going to do it for the price we say we're going to do it for. So they know we're reliable. They can count on us, and this will get taken care of easily.
And the other thing to this too is that nip it in the bud early. I know a lot of times people I don't want to pay for that fee. It's not that bad yet, whatever it is. I can't tell you. I mean, things start to live in it. There's decay. There's all sorts of stuff happens. So as soon as this starts to accumulate, just call. I mean, I would just call Junk King or have Junk King call and get them in and out of there, because mitigating, unfortunately, the other thing that might happen is going to be more expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, we handle it all the time. The other question we get, and I love this picture because people don't always realize that junk removal services, we work in the winter. We work all year long. We work, and so we don't, the snow doesn't stop us. So we'll come out as this group, we go into the home. So the message we get across is you don't have to take it out and put it in your driveway or your yard. You don't have to. But if you do, that's great. Makes it easier for us, obviously, just to haul it away from the yard. But we do work all year long. This is an easy job for us to do. We'll give that estimate. We'll get it hauled away, and then you've got your clear open space again. But keep in mind, it can be in the garage, it can be in the attic, it can be in the basement, it can be anywhere. Our guys will go in and do that.
Yeah. And of course, you sell houses all year round. So you can go in, clear it out, because you still have to clear it out. I mean, if you're going to sell a house, it's got to be cleared out.
Exactly. So, people ask, what's your process? How does this work? For us, we give a 2-hour window for our job. So let's say you say, "Well, I want it out in the morning." We'll give you a 7 to 9 slot. We might give you an 8 to 10 slot. We do our best to try to get there even before that end of the hours, because we want people to know that you can count on us. Our guys are going to call you 15 to 30 minutes before. They usually call on their way to the job. So they'll reach out to you. They'll say, hey, we're 15 minutes away. We can be there then. And if it's an estimate and the person needs to be on site, great. We can do jobs with people not on site and just do the transaction over the phone as well. But if it's an estimate, we'll give you the estimate, and our guys are prepared to just haul the items right then and there. So it works out. It's pretty slick. And some people, I give out our number here in the office. We are a franchise. So the number that you see, the 888 number, that is our franchise number. They're going to do a great job. But we also, you'll see later, you're going to have some of the numbers here in the office just to bypass all of that. So our office managers, the guys that we have in the shop here, are Robert and Trent. And these are their numbers, and they're answering phone calls all day long. That's what we do. The emails are great as well. You can text. We'll respond in any of those ways. So once, either you call this right away, we're going to work with you, or we've done a job for you. Keep our number on file so you don't have to go through that process of the call center. It's nice. It's slick to go through this way.
And also the fact that you answer the phone and you have people that are specifically working for your locations. One of the things that was interesting is I think it was about a month ago or so, we were working on a job together on a house, and didn't my seller come over to the Eden Prairie?
He did. He did. It was great. So we had met at our networking booth, Beth and I, and you had given me this, he said, I gave him your contact information. Well, he called and he wanted to know about the dumpsters. And I went through, walked him through how that all works. And then I had to leave. I had to go to another event, and he and his wife came, knocked on our door here in Eden Prairie, and Trent worked with them, and they wanted to see the dumpsters, and we had rented them all out. So we didn't have any here. So he came back another time. We got that done. He used one of our dumpsters. He's great. He is so pleasant to talk to. He was very complimentary of our young men, which was wonderful.
Yeah. And he spoke really well. And I mean, that's a job that you and I have done, but I've done other clean outs and things like that. And I can't say enough about your team as far as being human beings and being easy to work with and lean into the messy. I mean, that would be the best way to describe it, because it's humans and junk, right? But they're interconnected through a lot of different reasons.
And we get people who will say, I'm elderly, I can't help, move it, or, I'm inside, you have to come and talk to me. That's fine. And our young men are so good about anybody that they work with, but they're patient. They'll explain the process to you. And like I said, they're going to do the hauling. You don't have to worry about that. And we had an elderly man reach out to us and just, you're a young man, I have Parkinson's, I can't walk that well. They were very helpful, very understanding. Thank you so much for providing that service for me. We'll call you again. So it's been wonderful.
Nice. And they do like I said, they have a phone number, a person answers. It's just, I think that, I think our world of technology is great, but I think also people want to start seeing more and more faces. They want to have a connection.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. So as I mentioned before, as part of our green initiative, we definitely do a lot of donation. So for instance, the bikes, we have a couple named Deb and Tom Fortner. Deb they're amazing people. They collect bikes for free bikes for kids. That's an organization that takes bikes, puts, if they're missing tires, they find tires. They use all the bikes and create new bikes. And They give them to kids in need all over the Twin Cities area. And kids in need, the bikes go missing. And so we've always got another bike ready for them. Well, this woman, Deb Fortner, she was featured in our local news. She collects bikes, and she had last year 900 bikes in her backyard. And then they get semis and rental trucks to bring them to the warehouses to do the actual work.
Nice.
And she told us that 20% of her bikes were from junking. So we feel really good about that. You can see that we've donated to Spot's Last Stop as well. Debbie Potts, she's wonderful. And she reached out to us actually because she had seen that we had some kennels. And she said, hey, would you ever think about donating kennels? I said, absolutely.
Nice.
So she comes in every once in a while, we just keep them for her. And then when they're in need, she takes them. They're a foster organization. So they've got dogs coming in from all states, and then they're looking to find, and she's got 3 of her own. That's Lulu sitting down, and Ed's got Maisie in his arms. So she comes in, she just got another dog. She's wonderful. So those are just a couple examples of groups. We're always looking for new groups to try to partner with for our recycle and our green initiative, our donate. We have another young man who sends items to Africa. So we have a big, they're called Gaylords. It's a big bin, and we put a lot of our clothes and household items in there, and then he's able to send those to Africa.
Wow.
This is bridging.
That's a long journey for Tupperware, you know?
Well, you know, it's funny because they rent big, what are they called? Like cargo. They put them on ships. So they'll have this big cargo. I don't know what you call it. I'm sorry, I don't have the name, but they'll fill it, and they'll put a car in there. They'll put mattresses in there. Buy anything that they can find that they know will be needed in Africa, they do. So it's
I bet you wheelchairs would be
the wheelchairs, absolutely.
crutches.
Yes.
Yeah, because Cuba, I've done that for Cuba too, and they need wheelchairs like you wouldn't believe.
Exactly. And then this is bridging. So we have a partnership with Bridging. We actually reached out to them. We got a tour of their facility. And set up time. So they come to our warehouse in Eden Prairie twice a month and collect items. And they go to our Roseville shop once a month. And we're trying to get a setup for Maple Grove as well. But this is an example of us actually dropping some items off there. They generally come to us. The guys are great. You know, they'll call me before and they'll say, what do you have? You know, I'll say I have a couple dressers. I have some chairs, whatever. And they come prepared with their big trucks and haul it away, and then bring it to their warehouse. It's a great organization, really great.
Bridging is, again, they take that furniture and they donate to families and need families, individuals,
absolutely,
people that don't have any furniture usually.
Exactly. And, you know, they work, people can come through their warehouse. They have to work through a social worker or a case manager to get that set up. But then, you know, if you're getting an apartment and you have nothing, you can come in and you can get a bed and a frame and a, mattress and a couch. A vacuum cleaner. I mean, we give them all our vacuum cleaners too, because they have people work. As long as they plug in, they have volunteers that come to their warehouses and fix them, clean them out. Yeah, no, it's great. So
I have like 10 of them. None of them work. So.
So we, like I said, pride ourselves on our customer service. And I like to show this to different people who are looking at our slideshow, because it's important when you're doing your research for junk removal. It's important, or anything, real estate, whatever. You go on and you look at the reviews. So on Google, we're sitting at, with our 3 locations, over 3,000 4.9 to 5 star reviews. So I like to post a couple of these. And the thing that we do each month is we have a meeting with our guys, and we go through different things every month. But I always stand up and I always give them like 10 to 15 reviews that we've received in the past month, so they can see. We post them in our warehouses, but we also give shout outs to the guys during those meetings, because they're the face, they're the ones that are out there. They're absolutely. And the reviews we get, sometimes we're just dumbfounded, because they're the people take the time to tell us how their experience with us was. We love that. And our guys really appreciate that as well.
Cool.
This is our team. So you saw Ed in the first slide. I didn't put Ed on here as well. So Trent has been working for Junk Inc. since he's been in high school. He started on the trucks. Now he's in the office. He works on all of our trucks. He also answers a lot of our calls in the office. He and his wife had twins. So they have a little girl and a little boy. They're going to be 1 in about 2 months. They're adorable.
Instant family. Okay.
It is. Instant family is right. Linda has also been working for Ed for many years. They have a Belle Plaine connection. Ed is from Belle Plaine. So is Linda. So they go back a long way. Then we have Bob, Robert Huss. He's been with the company for, I think, like 6 years now. He's the guy that answers the phone a lot, and he's a hoot. Okay. I mean, he'll tack you up. And then there's me. I have 4 kids. I live in Eden Prairie, and I coach basketball.
You have how many kids?
I have 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I like to do action shots as well. Just so, our guys, it's a tough job. They're lifting heavy items. They're out on the trucks all day. So they really work to make the lifts right. They're talking to each other the whole time. All right, here, 1, 2, 3, let's go. So they're not hurting themselves while they're out on the jobs. But these are all sorts of jobs that we have done. We've done some landscaping work. We've done whole house cleanouts. Sometimes it's just one item. We'll come out for one item as well.
Excellent.
And here they are. So it's it's an evolving crew. Our office crew generally stays the same. We have about 8 to 10 guys who are full-time for us all year long. And then we have our summer crew that come. We get a lot of college guys that come in and work for us. So it's ever changing. Sometimes we've got 20 guys. Sometimes we're down to 10 in the winter. It's, we're always moving and changing, but great guys.
Excellent.
Yeah. And, we're on every social media platform. So I shouldn't say every. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all 3 of our locations. So we really would love people to go out and follow us. We post some fun pictures. You see action shots. You see time-lapse videos. You see the reviews. You see the turtle. One of our favorite stories is that someone threw away a turtle, Oscar, and we rescued him. And now he's in my office. He's watching me this whole time. He's been watching me. So that's been fun too. And then easy to book. You can go on our website. You can call us, and you have the numbers directly to our office as well. We try to make it as easy as possible for you to learn more about junk removal.
Excellent. Oh, well, it looks like we're done. Well, thank you so much.
I have to say thank you to you, Beth. It has been wonderful working with Beth and your group, the Flamingo Group. You and your husband have been so great to refer people to us. And like I said, we want to return that by doing just an excellent job and being reliable and making sure that the job gets done in a way that you feel good about as well.
Well, thank you again. Oh, and the other thing I don't know if we had these, but I've been handing these out everywhere. Ooh.
I love it. Can you see that? Yes. So these are little flyers. Anybody that wants a flyer, I can email it to you as well. I think you saw my email through there. These are great because this is a little coupon, but it also gives you a good understanding of what we do, what we take, and how to get a hold of us. So we blanket the whole Twin Cities area with these.
Yep. And so my door knocking in the neighborhood, you guys are going to get this too. So again, it was a pleasure. We use junking all the time. The biggest thing is, of course, you need to clean your house out before you list it. Or if you're in a situation that you're going to buy a house that is a little rough and needs to have some things taken out, we've also used junking on both sides of the sale. So thank you so much. You're a great organization. I've worked with Ed now. It's been over 10 years that we've done work with him. It's been a joy meeting you and working with you. And I just think this is just going to get better and better.
I agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you.